My thrift hunt for colorful clothes continues, and today we are thrifting in a new Midwestern town. Today we are in Menomonie, Wisconsin. Menomonie is a college town home to UW Stout, actually where I almost went to college, and also right on beautiful Lake Menomonie. But it's also home to possibly the cutest Goodwill ever. I have actually never thrifted in Menomonie before. Like I said, they're a college town, so I feel like that makes it a little bit more promising, so I'm really excited to see what kind of color they have here. My thrift wish list is the same as last time we thrifted for colorful tops, so I'll put that here, but the two things I'm adding are a maxi skirt, specifically a white maxi skirt. I tried this one on at American Eagle and I fell in love. I've been wanting a white maxi skirt for a while. Feel like I might have to buy one new, but if we could thrift one, that would be amazing. And then the other thing inspired by my American Eagle video is a hair bandana, like one of those like handkerchief things. I have been trying to make this work, but I've never been brave enough to wear it. I have a picture, I'll insert it here, from years ago, me trying to do this. But if we could find like a cute little like bandana that I could put in my hair that's actually cute, I feel like that'd be kind of fun. We have two thrift stores that we are thrifting at in Menomonie today, and I brought my mom, the best thrifter I know, so I have a good feeling we might find some of the things on our wish list today. I think that's enough talking. Let's just get thrifting. Oh, I remember this one. It's amazing. Look at all the color. It's colorful here. And fitting rooms. Oh, this is so exciting. I was very excited about this thrift store, not only because it was color coded, and that just makes looking for color so much easier, but the fitting rooms, that meant that anything that I put in my car, I could actually try on. And honestly, I've been getting pretty sick of standing in front of everyone in front of a mirror trying to figure out if a piece fits me or not. Also, this Goodwill unlocked a memory for me that I completely forgot about. My mom used to bring us back to school shopping here all the time, and it's crazy how fast the memories came back to me as soon as I stepped in. It wasn't crazy busy this day, but I did have to hop around from section to section just because the aisles were small and it felt like there was always someone where I needed to be. This section right here is the extra small top, so I was really excited to finally get around to this side and see what they had here. You can definitely tell there's a younger demographic donating clothes here. I definitely found some weird items. I did end up finding a really nice Gap sweater, but it's in this purple color, and I always gravitate toward this color for some reason, even though it looks terrible on me. In literally the last Thrifting for Color video, I found a Gap crew neck that was basically this exact color, and this color just looks terrible on me, so I don't know why I keep reaching for it. You guys know that my search for orange has been very long, and so it was really exciting to see all of this bright colored orange in the same spot. And this was a St. John's Bay active crew neck. I didn't know that St. John's Bay had like an active line, so that was pretty cool. It wasn't quite the right shade of orange though, it was a little bit lighter, so we put it back. Plus, you guys know I have possibly a slight addiction to crew necks, but that definitely does not stop me from at least trying them on, like this one from Old Navy that's in this really pretty green color, of course. And in case you forgot, we are indeed thrifting in Wisconsin, which I have found that thrifting for color in the Midwest can be kind of tough. A lot of the colorful things are things that are older or outdated, and I've seen a lot of TikToks of Wisconsin girls talking about how behind the Midwest is on fashion trends, and I felt this when I moved to Texas. I moved to Austin, Texas, and it felt like they were like at least a year or more ahead of the trends. But I will say one of the things I do appreciate about being in the Midwest is I don't feel the pressure to keep up with what everyone's wearing. It is actually really refreshing to not keep up with the trends every 6 months. Like this piece, for example, a crazy cropped cardigan, which I totally am trying on just for fun. But all that to say, my mom and I were talking about this topic a lot throughout this thrift trip, so I'd love to get your guys' input on what you feel like it's like thrifting for colorful things in the Midwest. Do you find it harder, easier? Does it depend on your style? Another thing too is that, especially in Wisconsin, we just don't have a ton of access to stores that are really trendy, like Aritzia or Free People, for example. So I think that can contribute to thrift stores feeling like they kind of have a drought. So anyways, those are all just my observations and opinions. I love the Midwest. I love being from here and living here, but it can be kind of tough thrifting here. Chances are it's going to take a bit to find exactly what you're looking for, which honestly, I think is kind of a good thing because it really makes me think, like, do I want this? Like the sweater vest, for example, I was searching for a sweater vest all through the winter time, and it really made me decide, like, how badly do I actually want this? Okay, enough about that. Let's get back to the thrifting. I ended up finding this really cool yellow tee. It said Durand House on it, which I don't know what that means, but I was really excited to try it on, and I was slowly but surely making my way over to the dress section. It seemed like every time I looked over there was someone there. But the weirdest thing happened to me here. Whenever I film and thrift, I really try my hardest to be not in anyone's way, and I put put my cart kind of off to the side. I also try to not be in a spot too long, but this lady came right next to me in front of my camera, and I just felt so uncomfortable. I have thrifted a lot in my life, and I honestly have had no one do that ever before, and you can't see it, but she was still so close to me, so I just moved on. But being a Midwesterner, I definitely wondered if I did something wrong or if I don't know. But look at how aesthetic and beautiful the racks of clothes look being color coded like this. This is my official request that all thrift stores organize their clothes like this. It just makes it so much easier when you're looking for clothes, especially if you're like me and you're thrifting for color. Okay, I think we're due for a little cart check, so here's how it's looking so far. I decided to go to the jeans because I suddenly remembered there's a fitting room and I can try on any pair of pants that I want to, except for that pair. I wasn't really seeing too much too exciting. There was definitely a lot of like embroidered jeans, which was kind of cute. Actually, I know that's kind of like a trend nowadays, but I did find some Abercrombie jeans. There was this light wash pair and then this medium wash pair, which you guys know this is my favorite kind of denim. So I was really excited to try these on. I don't know what my size would be in Abercrombie. I haven't tried on their jeans in a while, so this was going to be interesting. I looked at the shoes for a bit. They didn't have a ton, but there was these sandals that I thought were nice. They said that they had memory foam, which made it look really comfy. And my mom showed me that this Goodwill has a $1.99 clearance section where everything is $1.99. This one didn't have a ton. It was kind of a lot of swimsuits and weird pattern things, but it was definitely worth a look. It has been years that I've been able to go into a fitting room in a Goodwill and close the door, so I was very excited for this try on today. Plus, look at how colorful and beautiful the clothes we picked out looked. I had very high hopes. We started off with a striped universal thread blouse. It was beautiful. I love the style. I love like where the ruffles are. But the longer I had it on, the more I was like, I don't think this is my color season. I think there needs to be more blue or bolder stripes, but I was super bummed because I love the fit. Next was this yellow baby tee. This fit really well. I love the look of it. I loved the yellow, and I really actually liked that it had this graphic on the front, but I was a little hesitant because I was like, I don't know what this is, and I was kind of trying to decide if I would wear it with it on there and it wouldn't bug me, and it was $5, so I was putting that in the maybe pile for now. Plus, we had another yellow t-shirt to try. This one was really good quality. Like the stretch on it was crazy. It felt really thick and nice, but I do think after trying on the other yellow shirt, this one just felt a little bit more dull and not bright and fun, but this pink bodysuit definitely was fun. I don't really wear bodysuits very much, so this definitely was new for me. It was very thick. It was like a double lined material, super stretchy and almost like slippery sort of, which kind of threw me off, but I love the neckline of this. I felt like that was really flattering. I don't know how often I would wear a bodysuit like this, but I do love the pink color, although I did notice this kind of like stitching along the side that I wasn't that big of a fan of. The next top was one I was super excited for. This was a universal thread button up. It was new with tags and it was in this really gorgeous corally pink color. Even though it was a medium, it fit me really well. I love the crop on it. I love how kind of oversized it was a little bit. And this definitely isn't a color I have very much in my closet. I thought for summer this could be so cute or layered with a different color tank underneath. This definitely, like I said, isn't a color I have a lot of, so I was kind of deciding if this looked good or not. It definitely was starting to kind of like make my face look a little pink in different lights. Next, we tried on this beautiful orange homemade sweater. This was really nice. It fit really well. It was semi-itchy, I will say, and I kind of just tried it on more for fun because definitely with it being a turtleneck, it definitely is really hot and warm, especially for summer, but I just love the color of this, how bright the sweater is. It's so fun, and it's so rare that I find a sweater that's in a color like this. Next up, we have the green Old Navy crew neck. This is so good, you guys. So comfy. As soon as I put it on, I was like, yes, I have zero problems with this. Well, actually, the one problem I do have is that they did have it listed for $8, which I feel like is kind of crazy, especially for Old Navy. Like their stuff is not that high quality or expensive, so to have it be $8 at the thrift store was a little high, but I definitely love this color on me. I just don't know if I need to spend $8 on another crew neck. Next up is this crazy purple lilac color cardigan. This actually was very cute if it was a little longer. The quality of it was amazing. It was super soft. The buttons felt really nice, but I genuinely don't know who or why you'd wear a cardigan this small, but this does remind me of a lot of my pins with purple cardigans, so I may need to put that on my wish list. Next up is this Jessica Simpson dress. I love the idea of the pink and the orange together. I just wasn't sure if it was looking good on me. In some light, I think it does, some I don't. It also was a medium, so I do feel like it was fitting kind of weird. And it was that kind of fabric that's a little bit slippery. And honestly, I think if it was in more of like a cotton fabric, I would like it. With it being in the fabric that it was, it kind of made it a little bit outdated and didn't feel like it was like for my age, if that makes sense. Next up were the Abercrombie jeans, which made me very grateful for the ones I found at American Eagle. I actually thought my calves were going to bust these jeans. I don't have thin calves, so these were just so insanely tight. They were tight around the thighs. They shaved my body super weird. I genuinely hated every second of this, and this definitely took a lot out of me to even record this because I was just not feeling too hot after that. Next, I tried on these sandals. These are kind of hard to get on because my feet are pretty wide. Like, my feet are small, but they're wide, so I had to kind of stuff my foot in these. I couldn't really tell if I liked them enough or not. And then I also realized that they were Walmart brands, so I feel like they might not be worth it for $5. I don't know. After all that though, this is me checking out. I ended up saying no to everything there. Oh no. But we have one more to go. I did actually say yes to this mug that my mom found for my gift closet, so not too bad. $1.99, but I'm really holding out for the next thrift store. I'm hoping that we find some good things there. Tommy's happy either way though. The next thrift store we went to is called Hope Bargain Center. This is a Christian thrift store, and we actually had to park on the side of the street because the parking lot was so full. They had a little tag sale going on, and they also had fitting rooms, which is a huge win for me. This place was so massive. It was basically just like a huge warehouse with a bunch of racks of clothes in it, and the prices here were really fair. I love faith-based thrift stores because they tend to have just overall lower prices on things. Like I said in the car, I didn't end up getting anything from the last thrift store. I almost got that pink button up from Target, but when I brought it in different light and showed my mom, we both agreed that it kind of made me look a little pinky and wasn't maybe the right color for me, so I had to pass. It also was still $7, which I feel like is just a little expensive for something that I'm not 100% sure on, and I wanted to have that $7 for this thrift store because you just never know what you're gonna find. So like this Lucky brand tank that was originally listed for like $88 or something, it wasn't necessarily my style, but it was a little bit bolder and definitely worth trying on, I think. And of course I find a sweater vest when it's not sweater vest season anymore, but this one's super fun. I love the crop on it, and we were trying on that too. There was definitely a lot going on in the tank top section in this thrift store, like this homemade tank top with like almost like bones tied to the front of it. And then we found this really pretty, actually hot pink universal thread tank, but I think it was a little too cropped and the straps looked really long and not really that adjustable. Looking back, I wish I would have tried on this gingham collar tank. It looks so colorful and fun. Even if I didn't end up getting it, I do think it would have been better than this Old Navy one that I put in the cart. And then we found this tank, which basically had a built-in necklace. I'm glad that this thrift store still had the sweaters out because some places just take the sweaters out completely when summer and spring is here, so it was really nice to look through some of the cardigans and sweaters. I actually found this yellow cardigan, which on a lot of my pin inspo, they have yellow cardigans, and I loved kind of like the pearlescent buttons. This place also had a skirt section finally, but as per usual, I never find any skirts, so my dream of finding a white maxi skirt was put to rest. They had a lot of great prices on their jeans. Like they had a Madewell pair only listed for like $6, which I feel like is so good. They also had a nice little section for accessories, so I looked at the scarves and bandanas but didn't really find anything that I liked. They also had a cool little retro section for all the vintage items, which is so cool when thrift stores do that. I always love seeing all the like old vintagey things from the 80s, 90s, even like 2000s, I suppose now. And in case you happen to forget, we are still thrifting in Wisconsin. It took me a bit to figure out where the dresses were, but they were all the way at the back of the store. They did not have a big selection of dresses, as you can see. I didn't really have a lot to work with. There was this orange one that I thought was really pretty, but it was in a size large. It even had tags on it and everything, but just wasn't my size, unfortunately.
Not having a lot of luck here, but definitely way better prices, which is nice. I do have some stuff to try on, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's nice.
You already have,
yeah.
Just in a little bit darker.
Different, yeah. And it's a little bit bigger, but
yeah.
And we can't forget our honorary bird sweater. Today's is a cardinal. It wouldn't be a complete thrift trip without one. But yeah, this was just kind of my last ditch effort to try and find some more things to try on. I also realized I hadn't looked through like the hoodies and crew necks, so we looked through those. I also skimmed through the pants a little bit to see if there's anything good there, especially since there's fitting rooms. I wanted to make the most of it, so I did my best, but no luck. We do kind of have an odd mix of things for try number 2, but let's just get into it. The first item is this universal thread blouse in this teal kind of textured fabric. Really nice. I don't think it's my color though. I do love the sleeves and how it overall fits, but again, the color I think isn't my best. I do love though how the buttons are cloth and like covered like that. I think it makes them look really fancy. Like this could be a Madewell top and I would believe you. The next item is that Lucky Brand tank, except I realized it's actually not really a tank.
Guys, I just realized that this is a romper. Or no, wait, maybe it's a bodysuit. Wait, okay, actually, maybe it's a bodysuit? I'm so confused, but I think we're just gonna pass on that.
The next shirt we tried on is this lime green Maurice's blouse. I will say the bottom of this is very odd. It almost has like a bubble hem because the bottom is kind of scrunched and then it like lays over that. I love this color. I think it's such a fun color. I even like the style of the top. The buttons maybe are throwing me off, and then the bottom hem is as well. So this was a no, but almost there. I more tried on this Old Navy tank for the style of it. Like I love the idea of the noodle strap tank with like this like layer of ruffles at the bottom. It wasn't a medium, so it was quite big on me and the colors just weren't good. I don't know if you can see it in my face, but this genuinely was the moment that I was starting to feel so defeated and frustrated. I really wanted this thrift haul to be so good and colorful and fun. I'm honestly tearing up like talking right now. Like I was just feeling so defeated at the things I was finding. I just wasn't loving anything, and especially for you guys, like I want to find amazing things and take you along with me, but this just was not one of those days. I was the most hopeful though about this yellow cardigan. I feel like it is the closest to my Pinterest inspiration, so I was really excited to try it on. This was so close to being there. I feel like with how oversized it was, and honestly the neckline being like a v-neck look made it look really outdated and old. Like it laid really old on me, like it wasn't a modern cardigan, if that makes sense. Like I feel like wearing it kind of aged me a little bit, and I didn't love that. I do still love the buttons. I think they're so pretty, and things were almost there with this one, but there was enough that just wasn't lining up, and I was sad. Next up was the sweater vest. I had actually never heard of this brand before, but this fit really cute. I love how the sleeves kind of come out a little bit. The crop is really nice, and it's a really clean white, which is really pretty, but I just feel like it's not quite the style I'm going for, and since it's not sweater vest season anymore, I couldn't justify it. This next item might be kind of weird, but I got this little nightgown. If you guys have seen my pajama video, you know I'm trying to wear cuter pajamas to bed, and I thought, hey, maybe this nightgown would be something, but I do feel like it isn't. I feel like this ages me too. I don't know. And I don't normally sleep in dresses, so it is kind of a jump for me to just suddenly start sleeping in dresses now. So I said no to this as well. I feel like looking at everything that we tried on, it looks so colorful and fun. Like it looks like it would work, but everything just had something wrong, and it was so frustrating. Okay, so we came out with nothing again. In the fitting room, I actually almost started crying because I was really hopeful today. I thought we'd find something, and everything was just such a stretch, and not half of it. I don't even know why I tried on in the first place. So we're gonna get a coffee to make ourselves feel a little better. We might check out Baldwin maybe if we have time. I know. It's rough out there. Thrifting these past couple weeks have been so discouraging. I feel like I'm just not finding anything good. And this day was especially frustrating because we went out of our way to go to Menomonie because I thought it would give us a really good chance to find some fun, colorful things. And I just couldn't help but feel like I was letting you guys down because I didn't buy anything. But at the end of the day, I'm just a normal girl on a budget, and they can't just buy things for the sake of the video, which I was tempted to do, but I didn't want to do that. Even though I came into this coffee shop feeling pretty discouraged, me and my mom weren't about to give up. We decided to give it one last go and go to one of my mom's favorite thrift stores in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
They do have a bathroom.
Oh, they do. The sale today was 50% off dresses, which is something on my wish list, so I was looking at those right away. My mom showed me this Duluth Trading Co. kind of jumper thing. It was a little expensive and definitely not on my wish list, so we passed on that. I kept looking through the dresses. Most of them were pretty outdated, but this thrift store is also color-coded, which I love. So we found this yellow cardigan, which seemed to be promising, and also this yellow shirt, which also seemed to be promising. Things were already looking a little bit brighter, so I kept looking through all the different colored racks. I know this tank looks crazy, but this is honestly kind of what I'm going for, is a really bright, bold, contrasty pattern, and it's just hard to find the right one that doesn't look too crazy, but also looks cute and not too like, I don't know, it needs to be the right look. I always forget to look at belts at thrift stores, but I honestly should start doing that more because I really need some new belts. This store also had fitting rooms, so I was about to take full advantage of that, so I looked through all the pants, and surprisingly, we found a pair of Abercrombie jeans again. These are in white, and they're a size up from the ones we tried at the Goodwill, so I was really hopeful that these would fit really well. They also were like a 70s flare, which I love, so I was very excited to try those on.
What are those? They're like, I think they're like off-brand, but I don't know. Those are actually kind of crazy.
All right, you guys, third time's a charm. Now it's time for round 3 in the fitting room. Up first is this Faded Glory butter cardigan. This originally made me really glad I passed on the other one at the other store because this one is definitely more summery. It's nice and thin, but I will say it hit at a weird length. It was kind of, again, that mid-length that I don't love, and I feel like the yellow looked a little bit more highlighter yellow than like a butter yellow, especially on me and my skin tone. I so desperately wanted to love this, but I just know that I would not wear this on the day-to-day. While I was in the fitting room, my mom tossed over a bandana, but it was one of those like plasticky ones, so unfortunately it was a pass. This purple shirt is actually a kid's shirt from Target, but I thought there could be some potential here. I really like the purple color, but I think just proportionally you can tell it's not meant for a woman and it just looks a little odd, so unfortunately this was a pass too, but so close. Next is this butter yellow top. This was so cute. The crop is perfect. The wrap is perfect. The color is perfect. I was starting to believe that this might be the whole reason we went thrifting today, was simply for this top. But then I realized that these are some of my most high-waisted pants, and I could not wear them with a lot of the other pants that I have. And to buy a shirt that I can only wear with certain pants just didn't sit right with me. I just couldn't do it. We ended on a bang with these Abercrombie white jeans, and they were completely awful. It might not look like it now, but look at my hand. I can't even pick up the fabric. They were so tight against me. I could hardly sit if I tried. And then the waist gapping was massive. I could fit a whole water bottle behind there. And I feel like the crazy part is these are a size up from the other pants from the other thrift store. So I do not understand what is going on. It was just not our day today, I guess.
Okay, so this is our haul today. This is all we got, which honestly, these are great things for the gift closet. I'm not like too mad about that necessarily, but I am honestly pretty bummed. I was so looking forward to getting more colorful tops for summer, and the fact that this is the second thrift trip in a row thrifting for color and we've come away with basically nothing is just making me so sad. So the next couple thrift videos, we're gonna take a break from this, but we will revisit this later. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know that, I don't know, I always just feel bad when I don't have a haul. I feel like that's just how thrifting goes, and honestly, like some days of thrifting is just like this, where there's just nothing out there. I honestly am still in shock though that we went to 3 thrift stores and still found nothing. And I don't want to say, I guess, that we found nothing. We just didn't find anything that was worth the price and that I was willing to add to my closet. Like I said, I'm trying to be picky, but the thing about thrifting is that these kind of days where you get duds and find nothing makes the days when you do find something really good. So I can't wait for that. I'm really hoping that that comes soon. But yeah, all that to say, in the end, really thrifting is all about the journey and what we find along the way and just spending time together. So thank you so much for clicking on this video and just spending time with me and thrifting. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, me and my mom got to spend some time together, so that's always a win. We really won all around.
We had fun.
In the end. So yeah, we had a great time. So, I mean, I can't be too mad about that, I guess. But yeah, if you like these videos and you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe to the laundry chat. I put up videos every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you guys in the next one.